This week we're turning our attention back to the head. A few weeks ago we mocked it up and now I get to start building it. Before we start construction though, I have to do a lot of prep work, including sanding and filling holes. And there are some huge chain plates that we have to remove. My friend Cranston and Rob came over to give me a hand doing that. And then lastly, we have a really big delivery. My name is Matt. Follow along as I turn Duracell, the legendary ocean racing sailboat, into a comfortable cruising home. As you may recall, a few weeks ago, I went through several iterations of the head mock-up, also taking into account some good ideas and feedback I got from you all, the viewers. I'm happy with the final design that has the shower aft, the toilet on centerline with the sink next to the toilet, and a counter outboard against the hull. A while back, before I mocked up the head, I decided to cut out the floorboards. I needed to access the bilge in places where the floorboards were glassed in for inspection and painting. Then I mocked up new floorboards that are flush with the floorings. This gives us just a little more headroom. As I've said before, having enough overhead is one of the biggest design challenges when it comes to converting a racing boat to a cruising boat. Before any construction begins, I have to prep the entire area where the head will be. My friend Cranston was in town over the weekend, so he gave me a hand with a bunch of projects. First, we took apart the entire head mock-up. The mast step needs to be modified to fit the new mast, as well as painted and inspected, so we unbolted it from the keel grid. I also need room to install the shower wall that is adjacent to the mast step. So the next part of the project is to remove the chain plates. The mast is held up by shrouds and stays, which are the cables that come down fore and aft and side to side, holding the mast up. Where the cable comes down and attaches to the boat is the chain plate, and it is usually a big stainless steel part that is bolted to the boat, and that is where the cable attaches, holding the mast up. So they're incredibly strong, important parts of the boat. On Duracell, they were installed really tight to the boat. They're massive, there's lots of bolts. It's going to be very, very tough to get them out. We are removing the chain plates now for a few reasons. I will be building new carbon fiber chain plates in a different location in the boat, so we don't need these anymore. And this is where we're going to build the shower, so it's time for them to go. I got the top plate off. The original design was for -60 rod to be connected to these chain plates, which means they could hold at least 60,000 pounds. By the looks of these things, I would say it was probably even more than that.
Hey, can I get the pry bar for a second?
Yep. it up?
Step it up.
It's hitting something. Oh, the bottom plate? I've been staring at these chain plates for a couple years, wondering when I'd finally get around to removing them. Honestly, they are so massive and well installed to the boat that I kept feeling a very irrational fear that when they finally did come out, the boat may fall apart. Go now?
Yeah.
Sweet, dude. Excellent. Yeah, getting those, I don't even know what you call those chain plates. Getting those things out is going to be a trick.
Oh yeah, fuck.
Getting the chain plates out was indeed a trick. Luckily, I had the help of Cranston and his friend Rob, who sailed into town for the weekend. We were glad for his help not only with freeing the chain plates, but also doing a little filming since Yanni was away. Each side of the vertical shroud chain plate had 11 bolts, so 22 bolts per chain plate, 44 in all, just for the vertical ones. They had all been epoxied in, which made them incredibly tough to remove. We used a torch to soften things up, and then a lot of hammering, turning, and cursing to ease them out.
Ready? How much? Pretty heavy?
I mean, it probably weighs 20 pounds,
No.
maybe 30.
It's gotta be more than that. Yeah. Yeah, maybe 30.
Both sides were equally difficult. Thank you again to Rob and Cranston for your help getting these out, as well as filming. And don't worry, we had a fire extinguisher at the ready.
Got that on film, right? Oh, it's because it was spitting out microplastic. It is fucking huge puff, dude.
Oh, Jesus. just put a... Well, that's gonna get... It is. Nice job. Okay, so we've got the chain plates out. I've got some sanding done. There's only a couple little things I need to do before I can actually start building. Next week, you should see some actual walls being put up. A couple weeks ago, we packed up the mast down in LA and they loaded it on a truck. We weren't there for them to load it up, but this morning, the mast is arriving and I'm extremely nervous. I rented a forklift and we have to unload it and pull it down the driveway ourselves. I've never handled an 80-foot mast. I have friends here to help me out, which is great. So hopefully it goes well. The truck, fresh in from LA, could not make the turn with the 80-foot mast loaded on the trailer. So we rented a forklift to remove the mast from the truck and tow it down the long road we live on. And it was a bit of an operation. Thank you very much to our friends for helping out. The mast was off the truck, but now we had to get it out of the middle of the road where it was blocking traffic and down the long road home. How's everybody feel about it?
We got out of the road.
Cool.
Cart doesn't like that hill.
I guess not. I wasn't even watching it.
Yeah.
Well,
Take it back up.
not much we can do about it now. And last we got the boom. We actually have Duracell's original boom as well, so now we have two booms to choose from.
Duracell meet Mast. Mast meet Duracell. As mentioned in last week's episode, we plan to do a more thorough inspection of the mast once it's in our yard. So we called our local boat inspector, who appeared to be taking a nap when she got the call. inspector did a rather thorough inspection of one of the boom's access points.
First, thank you to Jason, who's from Annapolis, Maryland. He's been in the boat industry for 30 years. He's a racer, cruiser, and he owns his own company, Quiet Waters Boat Works, where he builds boats and fixes them. He sent us a couple pictures of some really gorgeous boats he's working on. So thank you very much, Jason. Also, thank you to Cody. Him and his fiance are fitting out their Irwin 34 to go cruising. They're only 20 years old. And congratulations to the two. We're really excited for you to get out cruising. They're our youngest Patreons so far. And lastly, thank you to Magnus, who's Norwegian. He was a steward on a submarine for a few years. He was a sous chef at the Norwegian Yacht Club. We were actually members there for a little bit. And it sounds like he has a boat project in his future as well. So we wish him luck. So thank you again so much to everybody for helping support the project. You are the ones that are making this happen. If you're interested in joining the Patreon community, you can find us at the Duracell Project on patreon.com. See you next week.